What's good, man? Devin Haney, he had his choices for his next opponent. He says if the George Kambosos rematch don't go through, he wants Loma or Tank Davis. And George Kambosos, he has it in the contract for his rematch, but Bob Arum, I expect he will try to get Haney out of that to fight Lomachenko. And I believe that. I'm not sure, but I think Lomachenko confirmed that he wants the title shot, but he's still in the Ukraine right now as we speak. So I don't really know how that's going to work out. I think that Lomachenko might stay in the Ukraine maybe until, after, Bob Arum really clears the way for him to get that fight next, because, it's not for sure that he can get Loma the title shot next. And I think Loma was in the contract for after Cambosis rematch to get the title shot anyway. So if he don't get it in Devin's next fight, he'll be next after that, I assume. Haney say he don't really rate those other guys, man. Like he ain't really call out Ryan. He ain't say nothing about Ryan Garcia, and I'm kind of glad he didn't. You know what I'm saying? Cause he really don't really need him like that no more. When Haney was coming up on the grind, boogeyman status, he was after Ryan Garcia a few times. But of course Ryan ducked like he ducks every fucking body. But Haney, he, but Tank Davis re-signed with Mayweather, so I don't have no hopes up for that. Mayweather not gonna want to make a fight that big with Bob Arum. No, especially a fight that his fighter, has a possibility of losing like that. So he's definitely don't want to split that pot with Bob Arum. So I don't really expect that. I In order for Haney and Shakur to get the Tank fight, they might have to leave top rank. But Bob Arum, he be talking like he want to make fights with Tank Davis. So I really don't know. It just seems far fetched to me, even though that Tank Davis did call out Devin Haney in the Rolly Romero press conference. When Brian Custer brought up what Haney said about him. But I'm not really sure about that fight. It seems like too many hoops and hurdles. But the WBA, they could order that fight. Because I remember when Cambosis had the belts, I heard that the WBA was. I read an article on the WBA trying to order Tank to fight Cambosis. I remember I was mad because I thought that Tank was going to get the fight over Haney after Haney been chasing them belts all that time, but Tank didn't really want the belts. He kept the same energy. I gotta give Tank his props on that. Like he he feel like he's above the belt. You know what I'm saying? Tank is popular as hell though. You know, so it is what it is. And Haney got the fight, and yeah though. But Lomachenko, at first I really was like fuck Lomachenko because he denied uh Devin Haney the shot coming up. Like he was one of the guys. It was Loma, Tiafimo, and then Cambosis gave him the fight. But Lomachenko, he was the only other like top 135 pounder that was really chasing the belts, like how Haney was after he lost it because he wanted the Tiafimo rematch, and I think that's what Bob Arum wanted. He was pushing for for Teofimo to give Loma the rematch after Kambosos, but he lost. And I think Tio would have moved up anyway if he would have won that fight. Because after Lomachenko, after Lomachenko lost to Teofimo, he was, chasing the belts again. He was fighting Teofimo common opponents and shit. That's what you gotta, I mean, that's how it is when you lose to somebody and you're trying to get the rematch, but you couldn't get it immediately. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so Loma was after the belts, but there really ain't too many options for Devin Haney at 135. That's why he say he's finna move up if he don't get the fights he don't want. And I won't have no sympathy for Loma if Haney moves up. I don't care. Loma can go play Pokemon, go collect them things 4 fights at a time. I mean, yeah, go collect them belts 1 fight at a time because, like I say, like he could have been fought Haney. If he would have beat Haney back then, you wouldn't have to worry about all this. Or maybe he would have beat Teofimo too if he would have beat Haney. Or maybe his shoulder wouldn't have been hurt that day he lost to Tio. But Haney and Lomachenko, that's a good technical matchup right there. I think that's the best technical matchup at 135. Because Shakur Stevenson, he at 130. That fight, I favor Devin in that fight, but hey, that is a risky ass fight, Lomachenko. I feel like Haney can take them angles away like Tio did. His feet is way better than Tio's. But it's gonna be something to watch though.